There's a talking crow outside of my window. The crow didn't look different to others. It was jet black, and its feathers shone as if kissed by starlight. Its eyes were black marbles that flickered with sentience, and it was missing a toe on its left foot. It always sat perched on the tree outside of my bedroom window. It didn't move, though I'm sure it must have done, for even sentient crows need to eat. Did it wait till I slept? Perhaps did it leave only when I crept out of bed to go to work? I tried to tempt it over with some bread one day, but it did not budge. It was keeping watch. Of what? I do not know. It started to madden me, this bird that did not move and was always watching. I started to shut my curtains for some privacy, but it felt silly as I pulled the linen together to be so bothered by a bird. Then one crisp autumn day, I opened them once more and found that it had moved to a perch even closer to my window. I chucked a stone at it. Its wings spread apart and hovered for a while before returning. I threw a brick, then I prodded it with a stick. It would leave for a moment, but always return, my little feathered stalker. Then it spoke. I thought it was my neighbor's at first. It was a strange voice, not human. It was guttural, like it came from the pit of some cavernous belly.
Bed, bed, bed.
It said bed over and over and over, until it felt as if it was the only word I knew. I shut the curtains, closed the window, and as I crept into my linen refuge, it crowed its awful song even then.
Bed, 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 bed.
I went to work, came home, and went to bed to that awful song. My sad little precise routine, and the feathered stalker, who had become an intimate part of it. It was not a beautiful story, I will grant you. It soon learnt a new word.
Sad,
It would say,
sad, 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 sad.
I started to consider that it might all be in my head. The feathers, black as night, and the crackling voice that sprung from them. Why was it all so awful? Didn't the world know I could stand no more? A woman who no longer loves me? A father who yells when he drinks? A boss who hates me, and a bird who can't keep quiet?
Dead,
It would say,
dead, 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 dead.
why did it have to haunt my bedroom? My candlelit solace in which I retreated from all my woes. Why did it have to follow me here? All the pain, the agony, the empty nothing that threatened to consume any life that might have persisted within me. Why did it have to add to it? Sit on some other porch, I thought. Terrorize my neighbors with the beautiful daughter, the happy dog, and the fancy car. That would not do. Oh no! Pain, my mother had said, only multiplies. The wound on my soul was festered, dripping yellow with maggots. Then, one day, it made a nest. and little white eggs filled it. It did not need to breed. That was the last thing I needed. More talking crows. The bird was stubborn, yet its eggs sat vulnerable. I knocked the pile of sticks and fluff down with a stick. I stabbed the butt of it into each egg. Cloudy whites spilled out, and little white feathers sat deflated amongst the goopy lines of red. The crow watched. I did not think that crows could cry, but they do, and it did. I almost felt bad, but then I thought better. If I could not be happy, then why should the crow? It sat on my windowsill that night, and it cried a different song.
Bad,
It said.
bad, 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 bad.
Then it was on my windowsill, and I thought to grab the bird and strangle the life out of it, but it evaded my hands like oil on water. I bought a pellet gun, but it was of no use, for it dodged each shot with perfect ease. In the darkness of the night, the moon would cast its shadow all over my room. It sat there, its wings stretched tenfold, and its beak a pointed spear. I would shiver with fear with every small twitch.
Bad,
It would say,
bad, sad, bad, bad, sad, bad, dead.
I felt like it was in me, that it would smash through the glass and peck the eyes out of my skull. Crows do not forget. They remember, like an elephant. Every little wrong is cast like marble into their little pea-sized brains. It must be all they think of. So very little space there is left for anything else. Have I bothered it before? Neglected to give it my last piece of bread? Was that why it had come to haunt me? I had destroyed its eggs now. It would never forgive me. It infiltrated my dreams. I lived under the shadow of its wings. It put dark thoughts there in the tender root of my brainstem. It lives there as it did on my seal.
Dead,
It said.
dead, 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 dead.
I awoke one night to the window cast open. It was inside now and atop the dresser. Its left leg was on my lit candle, but it did not shy from the fire.
I've been watching you.
It said. Fear had overtaken me. I sat shivering with the sheets pulled up to my chest, as if they might protect me from its wrath.
I came to you a friend. You are always so lonely in that bed. I thought to keep you company.
It was bigger now, I thought. It spread its wings, and small little charcoal hands emerged at their tips. It flew with its flaming foot and sat on the edge of my bed frame. Its eyes were wider now. Its beak had shifted inwards. I reached out for my phone, so I might call for help, but it was not where it usually was. I was helpless.
Yet, you were rotted beyond saving.
It said. Its feathers fell as if weightless to my carpet. It had flesh underneath, charcoal tinged with red. Its talons had turned into little toes with long yellow toenails.
Everyone hates you. You are a burden on all. Even your little crow despises you so. Now that her little eggs lie rotted in your yard, pain multiplies. You have spread it all around you like a plague, or a famine, but no more.
You are no crow! You are no crow! I gargled. I felt as if all feeling had been ripped out of me. So terrified I was for the crow that had sat on the tree in my garden for so long was not a crow, nor had it ever been. It was 6 foot tall and had a face with a black hole at its center, and it was sucking me in, but not my flesh, but my very soul. My mother's bedtime stories twisted into the agony of her dying breath. My lovely wife turned angry and sour. I don't love you. I don't love you. The thought of her in bed with Michael from Accountants was all I could see. The pregnancy test she had held so hopefully was gone now, and the bloody show in her bed was all that was left.
Perhaps you are right, yet perhaps all crows are like me. I know not.
It sucked and sucked.
But I will have my vengeance. You will work and never rest. You will sleep but wake tired. You will eat but never feel full. When you die, you will live again. And when you close your eyes, you shall see me, your little crow. And I will suck out more and more, until all that is left is the living dead.
Its limbs twisted inhumanly. The little spindles of its legs twisted and cracked, retreated back into a new plumage of jet black feathers. A beak poked out of the black hole, and its empty black eyes pondered my fear as if it were a delicacy.
Dead.
It said,
Dead. 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 Dead.
I considered, still shaking from the horror of it all. That dread might be the only thing worse than fear.